Hey, if you're wondering what it's going to be like over the weekend, we got you covered, especially for here. But look, let's talk about current temperatures right now. 78 degrees in Austin, 80 degrees in Bastrop. You can see that we're actually right around average, but it is going to be 12 o'clock, and unfortunately that means we are still going to continue to warm up a bit more. At least right now, this is what it should feel like outside, and doesn't look like it's going to stay that way. We look at satellite and radar at this point. We're still seeing a lot of cloud coverage right now across the area. That's helped out our temperatures a bit, but again, it's all that warmth that continues to flow back in. But now our main concern is going to be what happens for tomorrow. And as you can see with our severe risk for late Friday into early Saturday, we're in a category 2 for the hill country and even portions of the metro with a marginal risk within most of the metro area. You may be wondering, okay, well, that's Friday. What about Saturday early? Well, then the risk starts to move out. This should say Saturday, apologies. But category 1 then for the rest of the area. And this is going to be for early on Saturday itself. So keep that in mind that even though Friday, most of those affected will be in the hill country as we get past midnight into early Saturday morning, now everyone else starts to fall within that category 1. So let's take a look at everything that plays out a bit more. I ran the clock from now until Friday. Not very much goes on, but look at Friday. As we get into 2 a.m., you're starting to see the first signs of a few showers and thunderstorms. That's thanks to the front that starts to make its way on in. As we get to around noon on Friday, we see a bit more of those storms starting to develop. By Saturday, 7 p.m., the Concho Valley is the ones that are dealing with the storm. As we get to about 8 to 9, then we start to see it happening in our area. By 10 to 11, we start to see the metro getting the rumbles and the lightning. That starts to make its way through. By around midnight, it's pushed through most of the Austin metro area and into the eastern counties. And then as we play this out to about 4 a.m., it starts to make its way eastward. We still see a few more showers and thunderstorms early in the morning for Saturday, and then it finally pushes out. We're just left with a couple of lingering showers by Saturday afternoon. The amount of rainfall, though, that is actually going to be a bit impressive. I know you always hear me say, well, it's not going to be that impressive. This time, it actually is, and you can even see here by 10 p.m., we'll get a few showers early on Friday itself, but this is where it really starts to pick up. 1/4 of an inch of rainfall within a couple of hours. That pushes through by around midnight. We're already seeing close to an inch and a half, close enough in Burnett, and that could continue as we get into Saturday early in the morning. At that point, we'll have seen 1 to 2 inches of rainfall in many spots, 2 to 4 localized rainfall in many spots, and even as we get to Saturday by 9:30 a.m., we'll still see a few more showers here and there. So putting that all together, that's why you put this 1 to 2 inches plus with isolated pockets of showers at around 2 to 4 inches. All right, I do want to talk about what's happening in the tropics right now. As we continue to talk about Melissa, and of course we have Tropical Storm Melissa that is going to become a Category 4 hurricane. I had to stop and think because I had to remember that Tommy was going to talk about that too. So we'll get to that in just a moment. But yeah, it's expected to become a Category 4. Tommy will explain why in just a moment. Your 7-day forecast, we're looking at those rain chances really only for Friday into Saturday. And by Sunday, 84 degrees, keeping us in the mid-80s. And then another front Tuesday and Wednesday taking us to 77. With a bit more on Melissa, let's go ahead and send it over to Tommy House.
Yeah, Freddie, we divided this up perfectly, right? Because you showed the cone for that and the convection that's underway right now for Melissa. The magenta is showing the strengthening of this tropical storm. Melissa is going to become a beast in the coming few days. The biggest reason, it's in an untapped environment for some significant rapid strengthening as we move through the next few days. 3 different possible scenarios that Melissa could go. If Melissa stays a little bit further west in the Caribbean, it will become a major Category 4, if not a Category 5 hurricane. If it cuts through Jamaica, Cuba, portions of the DR, that will bring heavy rain to places that have a extreme prone to flooding down in the Caribbean itself, or it can become weaker. We think it's going to be strong and then kind of steer its way, bring in some heavy rain. Sea surface temps between 86 and even 90 degrees. That's bath water. That's just going to provide as much energy as possible into this tropical storm that will become a hurricane. Rainfall totals even through Tuesday. Look at Kingston down in Jamaica, almost 10 inches of rain. And even beyond that, some computer models are saying there could even be up to 20 inches of rain for some of these islands. And look at the spread of this thing. I mean, a lot of uncertainty. So we'll be tracking it, and we'll have updates here on KXAN. Will?
Tommy, thank you.